can't believe I'm about to say these words. Welcome to my first ever YouTube channel. So our first video will be a get to know me video. I put up a prompt on my Instagram for people to ask me questions, and I guess we'll just get right into it. I think I'll start from the basics. If you don't know me, my name is Rukia Bole. I am a journalist. I recently won an award that is arguably the most biggest award in Africa for journalists. It's called BBC News Komla Dumor Award. And life's just been lifing, to be honest. I want this channel to be a glimpse into my life, how I, go about my day, tackle stories, and who knows where it'll take us. The first question is, where did you study and which course exactly? So I studied journalism. I majored in broadcast and PR and advertising. So pretty much I did like 2 concentrations, which took longer. I'm glad I did double concentration. I feel like not only did I get training as a journalist, but also I have a mindset of a PR person. Whenever I have creative ideas, I think of it from a commercial perspective. So yeah, and where did I do my course? At USIU. USIU gets so much hate for no reason, guys. I feel like USIU is a great school. Everyone has different experience. We can go to the same uni and have completely different experiences. So shout out to USIU. How old are you? I am 27 years old.
And I want to have kids. And I want to get married.
Again, I'm only 27. What am I, a child bride?
No, honestly, I don't feel bad for saying that. I feel like as women, we try to, hush our age, but there's blessing in growing up. And I love growing up, to be honest. Being young was the ghetto. Like, you have zero freedom. You're told to what to do. Anyways, yeah, I'm 27 years old. I was born on October 6th. I'm a Libra. Someone asked, what do you think got you the BBC award? What has been driving your career-wise? Honestly, what got me the award is a combination of many things. Obviously, my work in its collective form, luck, and God. I don't know what else to say, to be honest. What has been driving you career-wise? I just know that I was meant for goodness in this lifetime. I knew that from a young age. I didn't know if I wanted to be a journalist. I just knew that I was meant to live a good life. And when it comes to my career, I think of it like no one's coming to save you. It's only you. So I heavily depend on myself. But yeah, if it's a hyper-independent thing, it might be good, it might be not. But I just rely on myself a lot, and that's what's driving my career. What made you better in terms of your career, and what work did you put in? When I first came into the media industry, there was one way of doing media. You go to the newsroom, you report, you go home. I think along the way, I got a bit exhausted of what I was doing. And that's when I started my TikTok channel. It really has opened so many blessings and doors for me. I got to work with global brands such as Google, TikTok. So I not only became a journalist in the newsroom, but a journalist in the digital world. Like, I have a good eye for what makes news. Most of the stories that I pick become a little, what would I say? What's the word? Viral. Also, being born in this digital age, I think you understand what makes or breaks the internet. So also being on the internet really helps. I mean, also me putting myself out there as a YouTuber now is a thing, So I don't want to be boxed and say, you have to do this. I just want to explore different things. At the end of the day, I just love being creative. What work did you put in? The usual, just get up, get the work done, and do extra work. For me, the extra work is filming content, coming up with ideas, pitching ideas to brands, working with brands, continuously growing my platform. That is, I think that's what makes me different when it comes to different journalists, I think. What advice would you give to a girl who just finished high school? Plus, may Allah bless you. I mean, may Allah bless you as well. What advice would I give to someone in high school? Just be a kid. I think when I was in high school, I was so hard on myself for no reason, I was a teenager. Just be a kid, have fun, do things teenagers do. Obviously not, the bad stuff and things that might set you behind, but just have fun, be your age, act your age, and also at the end of the day, work hard in your studies. I can't stress this enough. Your studies definitely puts you at a better advantage to do better in your career. How do you balance Islam and journalism? I don't think those two are separate, because Islam is ingrained in who I am. I'm a Muslim, visibly, spiritually. So I go about my day being a Muslim, trying my best to wear the hijab, trying my best to do the things that I'm supposed to do, like pray my 5 daily prayers and do the extra stuff if you can, to be honest. I think Islam should help you grow in your career. It doesn't matter if you're a journalist, if you're a lawyer. I think Islam teaches you discipline, it teaches you hard work, and all the good things that you need to grow. Islam is rooted in that. So alhamdulillah for being Muslim, alhamdulillah for Islam. What is it like being a journalist? There's a day I actually thought, people say, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer. I say I'm a journalist because it just comes natural to me, but I'm actually a journalist. I don't know what it's like being a journalist. If this question is asking what is it like being a journalist from day to day, it's hectic, just like any other job. Long hours, super fast paced. Sometimes you feel like your work is not appreciated, it's not seen enough. We just gotta keep going. But being a journalist is nice if you enjoy what you do. I love the creative aspect to being a journalist, and I think that's why I also do, content creation on the side. How did the tour to UK BBC add value to you individually and career-wise? Obviously, I've gained so many skills that I didn't have before. I got to work with the best of the best. I got to see and be in the biggest broadcaster in the world. You just have to live it. I don't know how else to say it. It's just a lived experience. And it was one of the best times of my life, being in that building and working with amazing, talented people, pushing myself as a journalist. I did an interview with the UK Minister for Africa. I wrote articles that got thousands of views. And at the end, I did a project that I was proud of. So overall, I'm happy with how my career turned out. I believe I'm not the same Rukia that I was the day that I won this award. Since August 2024, I've grown so much personally. I've learned how to trust myself more, trust God, be open, push myself to say hi to people, to be in rooms, to just grow as an individual. And yeah, I don't take it for granted. Okay, what's your favorite movie? My favorite movie is Divergent. I don't care if you guys think I have terrible taste. We had to be there. In 2013, 2014, dystopian movies were it. They were in, okay? Maze Runner, Hunger Games. I loved Divergent because of the storytelling, the music. And don't forget who? Four. The girls that know. And also I love Twilight. I love Twilight so much. I have to watch Twilight every year. What books would you recommend for me to read this month? I honestly recently just went back to reading books. Last year I was reading like articles, essays, think pieces. I have so many on my TikTok collection. I'm gonna link it down below so that you guys can read it as well. What story would you cover if you were given the chance, like unlimited budget in any country? I would say Somalia. I recently visited Somalia last year for the first time. So I was born and raised in Kenya, but ethnically I'm Somali. I think there's so many stories in Somalia, not like the painful trauma ones, but there are also very positive stories that are yet to be told. So that's definitely something that I would like to touch on. How was your first day as a journalist like? So before I went into the newsroom, I was trained for 4 or 5 months in the media lab. Nation Media Group have a program called Nation Media Lab, and I was part of it. But my first day as a journalist, I see it as the day that I went to the field alone. So the first few days, you'll shadow someone. And then one day, you happen to be in the newsroom alone, and there are no senior reporters. You're going to be told, there's a press conference, go. So the first press conference I went to was one for Atwoli. and I was so scared. I texted my friend Naoma. She was my desk mate at the time. I called her. I'm like, oh my God, they're sending me to a press conference. What do I do? What do I say? She's like, don't worry, just go there, listen in, and you'll find what the story is. I'm like, what if I don't get the story? What if I don't know what the story is? She's like, you'll find what the story is. So I did, and it was good. But I was so scared. I was so scared. What's the most thing that you love about yourself? Wow. I would say how genuine I am. I think I'm a very honest and genuine person with everything, honestly, with my job, with people, and there's a word they say in my mother tongue, which is da'ad. I think I'm very da'ad. I'm very genuine. And I know, like, my loved ones sometimes tell me, oh, you're too naive or something like that. But it's okay. I think that's a trait that I protect and hold dear to myself, because if I'm living proof of it, I know I will attract people who are similar to that. So I think that's my favorite trait about myself. What do you like to achieve in 2025, inshallah? Without mentioning too much, hopefully just keep growing in my career as a journalist, spiritually grow closer to Allah, have better relationships with my loved ones, and hopefully buy a car. Not a question, but a compliment. Girl, you're so beautiful inside out. Thank you. And it's coming from another girl, so it's so sweet. Thank you so much. How do you feel having achieved all that you have so far? That's quite a loaded question, but I'm glad I have people around me that ground me. So I think in 2023 I was struggling with, climbing the social hierarchy and your career and everything. But my therapist, which by the way I'm not scared to say, I love therapy. I've known my therapist for 2 years now. She really helped me understand my self-worth. Because look at it this way. Does your self-worth, is it connected to how people perceive you? Because people can, build you up just to bring you down. So who are you besides this glamour and this adoration people have of you? So I would say, alhamdulillah, my value is not attached to my career. It's not attached to external validation. It's purely just from me and who I am, and not what others think of me or what I can do for others. It feels good to have done well for myself, alhamdulillah, in my lifetime, to be honest. I think it's a beautiful thing when a girl gets to do it all on her own, obviously with the help of Allah. So many things come into play, and family and your loved ones, but it's a good feeling to be that girl, to be the it girl. How are you loving Yellowface? Oh, it's the book that I was holding, by the way, in the prompt. I'll put the picture there. I love it. It's so good. I think it's so funny. I'm like in chapter 13 now. I have a couple of pages to go, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I want to get back into reading. I used to be a bookworm when I was younger, and then when I grew up, I got into audio visual format. I love watching videos now. I love creating videos. I love editing. So I'm trying to get back into books. I do read. It's mostly news though. So I want to go back to reading as a hobby now. What is your ideal life? My ideal life would be a life where I'm financially free, where I'm able to help my loved ones, and I'm creating in some way or another. I can't say that it would be in journalism or not. It could be not, but I hope I'm in the creative field in some way, and I'm just financially free, that I get to travel the world. Someone asked tips on how to become confident. I think the only advice I would give is there's only one you. There's no one who looks like you. There's no one who is you in this lifetime. So you have to be confident in your skin. And I don't know how else to give confidence advice, to be honest. It's just here. If you're okay here, I think however you behave or act on the exterior is going to be fine. So just work on how you perceive yourself, how you think about yourself, and it will translate. Today's fast-paced world, many young people struggle to balance their careers and religious commitments. As a journalist, how do you maintain that balance, and what advice would you give to others trying to do the same? I I think this comes back to the previous question of how to balance religion and your career. You can't separate them. In my eyes, they have to be one and the same. Because here's the thing, as a Muslim, what do you believe in? That there is one God. There is a creator out there who controls everything. I can't wake up one day and feel like, oh, today God is not, controlling things for me. At all times, for me, God is at the center of what I do. From the minute I wake up. Like, honestly, I'm not religious. I'm not even here preaching anything. But I'm just telling you what is practical for me. From the morning, we have our morning Fajr prayers. The thing that keeps me grounded from a very young age is adhkar, dhikr, the remembrance of Allah. Every morning when I do my dhikr, honestly, I feel like I'm invincible. I feel like I walk around this world feeling like nothing can touch me unless it was written for me. So having God at the center of whatever I do, it just makes me remember Him at all times. Like, I'm about to start this live, coverage. I say Bismillah. Whenever I'm like doing something that is dangerous, I just make my small dua, I keep it moving, So I feel like Islam and your career, it's just one and the same thing. Because Islam is incorporated to everything that we do. We may struggle because we're human beings, but you don't stop, You just pick yourself up and continue. If you struggle with your salah, just keep going. If you struggle with, fasting and doing the basic things as a Muslim, just keep going. But just know that God is real and He's there and He's always available for you when you invoke Him. That's all I would say, to be honest. What is your favorite restaurant? So for a while, I didn't have a favorite restaurant. I just used to eat what I feel like. But I think Cultiva has really good food. Cultiva, call me. How many siblings do you have? If you're Somali, the thing that I'm going to say is not going to shock you. I have 20 siblings. Yeah, I have 20 siblings in total. But in terms of my mom, I'm the last born and I'm the 8th born. So, yeah. What is your favorite Netflix show? So fun fact about me, I love horror movies. I love thriller. I grew up watching horror because my brother used to kind of force us to watch horror with him. Final Destination, the Saw movies. I know. I used to watch them like as a 9-year-old. So my favorite Netflix show is The Haunting of Hill House. I recommend it to everyone I meet. It's the best show. How tall are you? I'm 5'4". On a good day, I might be 5'5". Where did you grow up in? I grew up in Nairobi. I'm as Nairobi as they come, guys. I know Nairobi inside out. I love Nairobi. That's home. Who were your childhood idols? So, I feel like the girls that get it. Back in 2014, 2013, the girls that know. Like, Wattpad was the it thing. Girls were hugely, in love with a certain band, in love with a certain celebrity. Like, they were part of a fandom. So I used to love Demi Lovato and Adam Sivani. Adam Sivani is the skinny, curly-haired guy from the Step Up movies. Like, I loved him so much. My Twitter banner, display picture, background was all him. And then my name was Moose Salivani, a combination of him, Moose in the movie, my other name, Sal, and then Sivani, Adam Sivani. So it became Moose Salivani. I was so convinced, guys. I was in love with him, that I was going to end up with him. And then whenever my siblings were like, this is a face. I'm like, no, it's not a face. You don't understand this. It's embarrassing. But as an adult, I don't like any celebrity now. Okay, I enjoy music. I like them as an artist, but there's no one I look up to. The older that I got, I understood that no one's perfect. And whenever you put someone in a pedestal, you get to meet them and you realize they're not as great as you think you are. You know that phrase, don't ever meet your role models, don't ever meet your idols? It's true. And with time, I've realized to love certain things about certain people. So like, if I like this person, I like how hardworking they are, how passionate they are, how kind they are. I like their traits and not them as an individual. Because you don't know who they are behind the scenes or when the cameras are off. What sport do you play? Currently, I don't know if this is a sport, but when I was in London, I was going to spinning classes, the one on the bike. That was very fun. It became a hobby. Right now, I don't play any sport. In school, I used to run. I used to run track, relay. I used to play football. In uni, I played taekwondo. So I'm quite active. I know that I love sports, but I'm trying to figure out what I like now. I'm learning how to ride a bike, by the way. Not all of us know how to ride a bike. Some of us were listening to Backstreet Boys and Westlife when our age mates were learning how to ride a bike. So that's something I'm learning this year, and we'll see how that goes. I got an injury, so I don't know if I want to go back. I'm scared. So I think I'm going to end the video here. I think I got all the questions that you guys asked me, and I am so excited for this next chapter. I've wanted to do YouTube since I was in uni, to be honest. For one reason or another, I was procrastinating, I was scared, I didn't have the time, but we're here. This is the year where we're trying new things and putting ourselves out there. And yeah, let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.